is when you and I study the Word of God, and as we begin to meditate on it, as we begin to wrestle with it in our minds, it drops from head knowledge into heart knowledge. It goes from just information that I'm reading to wisdom, because as I allow that the knowledge to drop into my heart, it becomes transformational. I want us to take a look at what God tells his people in Egypt at Passover. In Exodus 12 verse 11, around this idea of being girded. Exodus 12 verse 11 says, "And thus you shall eat with a belt on your waist, your sandals on your feet, and your staff in your hand, so that you shall eat it in haste. For it is the Lord's Passover." And so the point here is when God tells them, be ready with a belt on your waist, God is telling them, be ready to go. Be prepared to go. Get ready for the journey. Even Jesus told his disciples this. In Luke 12 verse 35, he says, "Let your waist be girded and your lamps burning." And so he tells his disciples, but he also tells us that we are to be ready to go all the time. Not with our physical loins, our physical waist girded, but certainly with our spiritual waist girded. As we are looking for the returning of the Lord. 2 Timothy 4 verse 2, talking about that we are to be ready. Paul tells Timothy in 2 Timothy 4 verse 2, he says, "Preach the word. Be ready in season and out of season. Convince, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and teaching." Our girding is a mental. It's our minds. It is a spiritual. It's our hearts. A spiritual girding. Peter tells us in 1 Peter 1 verse 13, he says, "Therefore," what does he say? He says, "Gird up the loins of your mind." In other words, the waist of your thinking. Your mind, gird up your mind. Be sober and rest your hope fully upon the grace that is to be brought to you at the revelation of Jesus Christ. And so the belt we wear in our spiritual battles is not a belt of leather. It is a belt of truth.